lights down, I'm in my zone. Thank God for granting me this moment of clarity, this moment of honesty. The world will feel my truth. My hard knock lifetime, a gift and a curse. I gave you volume after volume of my words so you can feel my truth.
Hi, this is Springs the Action. Here myself, Roel, and I'm standing here with special guests from the CSW Colorado Spring Wrestling owner, Mr. Randy Rude. How you been, man?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. How you doing, brother?
Doing great, man. It's that gosh, we miss wrestling. We miss, seeing you around with CSW because a couple of years back, we just had to, do some other show with personal issues, but yeah, but other than that, yeah.
Well, one thing we're gonna settle right now is the fact that that's the old CSW. And I have respect and love for the old CSW, but the fact is, this is the new CSW. This is the future of CSW. This is the positive movement. This is the future of Southern Colorado professional wrestling. It's about to get serious. And brother, we are glad to be talking right now. Like myself, the owner of CSW, I speak for everybody at CSW. And I am so glad to be talking to Roel from Springs into Action. It's so awesome, man. I want to point one thing out really quick to everyone out there that's watching it. When I came back into the professional wrestling business, when I decided I was really going to make a push for things and make something happen, and I was going to be part of the future of this business, the first person that ever reached out to me was Roel.
I appreciate it, man. I'm glad
that's right there. Yeah. Everyone knows about the Rude Awakening out there. We still every once in a while it pops up here and there. We do some matches, stuff like that. We've had some really good matches on there. To tell you the truth, the Javier Cruz Animal Sam dog collar match was a huge smash. Eric Angel and Balaam Lynx was a massive match. But all that. Those matches that are happening exclusive on that show, all the interviews that have happened on there, all the wrestlers, everything that's happened, it all started with this brother right here.
Appreciate
so personally, I say thank you, Roel. Thank you, Springs into Action, for showing the love.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for showing the love to keep CSW going since the first time I met you with that company.
Yeah, keeping it going is an understatement now. As I did my press conference just yesterday, we announced that we have moved permanently to Sunshine Studios, our new home. Much bigger. We've got so much more room. We've got way more production now. It's going to be a show like no one's ever seen before.
I appreciate it. And my question is that since the beginning of March, we know that COVID-19 hits, and that kind of like ruined some of the plans, ahead, and my question is like, what's been going on through your head when, since COVID started, and what was through your mind throughout those couple months, man?
Well, when the COVID thing all just hit and dropped, they did the shutdown 2 weeks before our March event. We were sold out. It was a sold out show. And it wasn't 2 weeks. It was like 2 days. It was a couple days before the event. And they did the stay at home, the quarantine. And it was the only time that CSW's ever had to cancel a show to that point. It was a pretty hard time, I'm not going to lie. That was a pretty tough pill to swallow. It's not how I do business, to say the least. But the thing that helped was the fans. I'll tell you what, the fans. I say this all the time. CSW has the best fans in Colorado wrestling, period. Okay, and they proved it during that quarantine time, because I'll tell you what, they were strong. Not one single fan asked for a refund. All of them said, no, I'll use that ticket for the next show. Nobody wanted their money back. They wanted wrestling, you know? So we did, you know, then it made it where I had to make sure that CSW stayed alive. After I saw how much passion was in those fans, it blew my mind. I couldn't believe that people could be that dedicated to our product. And it makes me eternally grateful to every single one of them out there. It's a feeling like nothing else. It's humbling and so gratifying to know that you change so many lives out there, that you help, so that you make so many people passionate about something. We had our show set. We didn't even plan a show in April. We weren't even going to try because that was in the worst, you know, that was really, really bad. May, we had a show set up. It was going to be an empty arena show. Everything was set up, good to go. Then again, 2 days before the event, the CDC shut us down and said we couldn't do the show. So it was almost a second blow of having to cancel the show. And I'm not going to lie, that one almost did it in. That one was a hard one right there. I came home that night, talked to my wife, and said, you know, do we take the CSW package and do we put it under the stairs for the time? And we almost did. God's honest truth, we almost did. And then June came around, and I was told I could have a show. So we did Headlocks for Hospice, the first ever professional wrestling telethon. I looked it up, and sure enough, it is the one and only professional wrestling telethon in existence. And we did it, along with, of course, Devotion Championship Wrestling. Manny Lemon and those guys are so amazing. You know, Manny Lemon is a longtime CSW wrestler. The Brothers Smith come down there. They're great entertainment. The fans love them. You know, we raised $7,000 for hospice care in that event. That's an amazing thing right there, you know.
Yes. Okay.
And
All right.
that showed me that it's not just, the passion ain't just still here, but it's stronger than it's ever been right now.
All right. My question is, we wanted to have the fans out there about Randy Root. Who was the first wrestler that you grew up with, and what inspired, you know, with that character and grew up with wrestling? What we want to have you share to the whole world, you know, your fans out there.
Well, you know, being a 80s kid, obviously my first wrestler was Hulk Hogan. You know, I mean, WrestleMania 2, I'll never forget it. I was 6 years old, seeing Hulk Hogan and King Kong Bundy in that steel cage match. And it was mind-blowing. You know, I was mesmerized by this whole, a man could be busted open and beaten and slammed into the cage and thrown around and come back and prevail and win. And then, so I got to give first credit to Hulkster, obviously. That's my first credit I will always give. Exactly, you know. But then I started realizing about the heel, the bad guy. And then I saw a wrestler by the name of Ravishing Rick Rude. And I was just enthralled and obsessed. Hence, Ruthless Randy Rude. That's where that comes from right there, 100%. Animal Salmon, the first ever live Rude Awakening, called me a Rick Rude mark. You damn right, 100%. All right. If you're going to be a mark of somebody, Rick Rude's a good person to do it for. You know, but I took that and I made it my own. You know, that's why I didn't go Ravishing Randy Rude. It had to be different. And, you know, I'm hardcore. I don't care. You know, so it was Ruthless. Now, the other thing is that name came from my music career as well. I do have 10 albums recorded, over 350 songs. I've toured all over the place, but wrestling's my passion. That's where my blood is right there. It's wrestling. And if I don't wake up tomorrow, I know right now that I've in some little way made wrestling a little bit better. But I'll also tell you, I'm not done. You have not even begun to see what we have going on.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's how Randy Roode was born. Okay. Before we want to talk about CSW, let's just remember that. Can you explain a small best highlight of your career when was with Iron Hills Wrestling?
Well, I'll tell you the God's honest truth. You are the very first reporter that's brought that up, and I'm kind of surprised, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, it was short-lived, but for what it was a great time. It got me into the business. I'm eternally grateful for that because it taught me a lot of lessons. My best moment, and it's something that will stay in my heart forever, is 2 weeks before the June event last year. I got a call from a woman named Debbie Havens, and she had told me that her brother Eddie was sick. He was really sick. He was actually on hospice care. Didn't have a lot of time left. And the only thing he wanted was a front row seat to that show. Well, you know me. He didn't just get a front row seat. I had a shirt printed for him. I had the entire roster autograph the shirt for him, presented it to him at the beginning of the show. And when I did, the thing you got to realize is this guy had been in a wheelchair for a while. Okay. Well, as I was trying to present him with this shirt, he reaches out and grabs that second rope of the ring and pulls himself out of that chair so he can stand up and listen to 250 people chant his name. And that man passed away about 2 weeks after that show. That moment right there. Okay. You can have the best match in the world, but moments like that, that's why you do this in this business right there. The last words that man ever said to me that I keep right here. I hugged him at the end of the night, asked him if he had fun, took a picture with him. He said it was the most fun he had had in over a year. Gave me a hug and said, "I'll see you next month." And he was there, and he's been at every single show since then. And when I returned to CSW back in September, when I made my huge return, the very first thing I did was declare that every September we will have an Eddie Havens memorial match. And I'll even let everyone know this is a breaking news for you. Here it springs into action. The first people to get this news right now. In September, I am finally doing the show dedicated to the memorial of my brother that I promised 15 years ago on his deathbed. One day there would be a show dedicated to him. Well, this September, we have the TC Tribute. And at the TC Tribute, we will have the second annual Eddie Havens Memorial Match. It's going to be an amazing, amazing moment.
Yeah, we've been looking forward to it. We want to give a big shout out tribute all the people that, for them, all the memorials for all the fans that, that recently passed away. And God bless for all those people,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And now we're going to move into CSW. I want to get to know more now, since now you're the owner of CSW and now you're own the company, but I just want to give me a good details. What's this with your band, the group called the Ugly World Order, the UWO? What's up with that?
Oh, you mean the coolest group of guys in professional wrestling? The guys that you wake up in the morning and wish you could be as cool as the UWO. Is that who you're talking about? Randy Rude, Eric Angel, the insatiable Johnny Crash, Animal Sam, Daisy, B Mobile, the heavyweight champion Cormac. Are you kidding me? That's what you
Man,
call faction right there.
man, you guys get it on. You guys like the
Right.
new, I'll say probably Wolfpack. The new, the big. It's like one of the big group that you following your footsteps. So you
Oh
guys,
yeah, oh yeah. We take a lot of pride in being the ugly world order. I'll tell you what, uh, we are the most hated and the most loved to be hated guys out there. All right. What do you expect when you have the King of Hills in your faction? All right, that's just the way it's going to be. Uh, and coming in just a couple of weeks at Colorado Cash-In at our new home, uh, the UWO is going to go in there, and we're going to do what we do every single month. We're going to dominate. We're going to walk out with all the gold. You think Animal Sam is scared of Logan Austin? Okay, are you serious? Animal Sam's going to feed him to his dogs over in the wastelands. All right. Eric Angel, Johnny Crash, and B Mobile are all in that hardcore championship tournament. You know how good the odds are that the UWO is going to walk out with that belt? It's ours. It's all ours. We are CSW. CSW revolves around the UWO.
you hear that, ladies and gentlemen? You better look up with UWO if you want to catch UWO and rest of the crew at CSW. Like what Randy Root said, if you want to get your tickets ready, check out Sunshine Studios at July 18. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Our new home. We're so excited to be moving there. We've done one show there before. Super great staff and people there. So we couldn't be more excited to be making this move. A quick thank you and shout out to everyone over at Corner Pocket for the last 7 months that have shown us so much love, treated the fans so well. Gary, the owner, all the bar staff, everyone there. It was a hard goodbye to leave that place. I'll tell you that. They really made us feel welcome. But I have a feeling Sunshine Studios is going to be a pretty amazing future for CSW.
Okay, we want to know what's the future goals, what's ahead of times, because slowly, since COVID-19, everything slowly begin to be open. I just want to get informed about CSW. So, what's the future hold CSW until 2021? What's have plans you have in mind for CSW along the way?
So, for the future of CSW, well, it all starts July 18th. Well, actually, it started last month at Headlocks for Hospice. That was letting everyone know, look, we're a serious competitor here. We are the real deal. Thank you to ABC, CBS, Fox 21, all those stations that showed up and showed tons of love for the event. There are talks of television in the possible future as well. That's something we're really excited to look into. Now that we're in Sunshine Studios, it's something we can actually consider doing. It's a full-on venue, so we can actually do those types of things. The possibilities are endless for CSW, and that's the God's honest truth. With the fact that we've got all those wonderful titles that CSW has now, the heavyweight title, that 719 title, that's quickly become the hottest title in Southern Colorado. Then we have the hardcore title debuting at Colorado Cash-In that tournament. We have our tag team champions, Vanity Inc. You know, our women's champion, Daisy. You know, those belts are very sentimental to every single one of them, and to the fans. They appreciate each championship for a different reason. It's a perfect flow that we have going right now. It really is. And like I said, we're just going to get bigger. It's going to be bigger and bigger and bigger. Who knows who's going to show up? You know, there are rumors out there that the UWO does have a trash man.
Okay.
Someone that would be taking out the trash, as far as, you know, throwing it in the dumpster.
All right.
Just saying, throw a little couple seeds out there.
Okay. All right. Before we wrap this up, you want to give any shout outs to your fans and for all the Springers actions to action fans out there for you?
Hey, well, all you guys from Springs into Action, Randy Root and everyone out there has nothing but love for you guys. We love Springs in Action. The guys are great. They've always shown me nothing but respect, so I do the exact same for them. Nothing but respect, love, gratitude. I say that to all the fans out there as well. 100% from my heart. I wouldn't be me if it wasn't for you out there. So thank you to all of you. July 18th, make sure to go to Colorado Cash In at Sunshine Studios. Doors open at 6. Show starts at 7. We have the lead guitar player from Gravel will be performing the national anthem live in the ring that night. It's going to be a huge show. Tournament for the hardcore title. The heavyweight title's on the line with Captain Stevens Challenge and Cormac Battle. Vanity Inc.'s going to defend those tag team titles against the 3 Rings. It's going to be a massive show. So make sure you're there. I know the Springs into Action guys are going to be there, and they're going to be making a lot of noise. So every single one of you out there watching, you need to be there as well and making just as much noise. Let's show Sunshine Studios just how loud we can get.
All right. Well, Colorado Springs, you hear that, folks, from Randy Root, coming live from July 18 at the Sunshine Studios for CSW event. And I will say that all of my fans out there, I know I apologize, that, things were going, our separate ways, due to, some personal issues. But I guarantee you this, ladies and gentlemen, for Springers to Actions and for Springers to Action folks, when July 18th is coming soon for CSW event, I will guarantee, I promise you guys that Spring is the Action will come to the CSW event, and we would love to share some interviews and talk to you, all of you, at the event. So it's going to be a good one, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope you guys will see you there.
We'll see you all there.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's the CSW Colorado Spring owner, Mr. Randy Root, with myself, Roel. And thank you, folks, for watching. With Spring is the Actions. Thank you.
Yeah. Turn the music up, turn the lights down, I'm in my zone. Thank God.